this computer.
Okay.
Hello, Rebecca. I'm so glad
Hi.
to meet with you.
It's
Thank
lovely to see you.
thank you so much for coming on with me. And I am just delighted to meet you. I love what you do. I follow you online, have for a while. And um, you know what? Specifically, I loved the fodder challenge lesson that you did.
Yeah.
The fodder, is that what it was called? Fodder challenge? Fodder?
For the challenge.
Fodder
Yeah,
challenge.
yeah.
Yes. Loved that so much. That was just
Thank
like,
you.
oh my gosh. In my shop I sell those labels. Like I have
Mhm.
boxes of labels. I'm like, oh, new way to
Yeah.
use
It's such a
labels.
it's just such a quick and easy thing to do, and there's so many different things you can do with it. So it's a perfect thing just to have to hand, I think.
Absolutely. That was fantastic. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? And yeah, we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I'm based in the UK on the south coast, near Brighton. Yeah, I'm an art teacher. I'm trained as an art teacher, but I've got two small boys, so I'm at home looking after them at the moment. I stopped teaching when I had my first son, and yeah, so I've just been trying to carry on bits of artwork in between that, and yeah, doing the 100 days of what was it, 100 days of fodder,
Flash fodder, yeah.
and the fodder challenge. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was kind of got me back into it a little bit more. So yeah,
So first things first, how old are your boys?
they are 5 and 2.
Oh
So
my.
yeah, littlies.
Dear one. I remember those days. Yeah, you're amazingly prolific for 5 and 2-year-olds at home. Um that's amazing. Now, was that your first 100-day challenge or have you done those a while? Tell me, like, how far back does this art
So
form
I
go
did
for
the
you?
first one in 2019, and that was after my second son was born. And yeah, he was only like 8 weeks old or something. But I was like, I've got to just do something to keep me just 10 minutes here and there every day, just
Yeah.
something. So I thought, well, up to that point, I'd kind of done more acrylic painting things, and bigger work. And but I thought this is not going to be possible to get my acrylic paints out all the time and leave them out with a toddler around and a baby. So I needed to come up with another strategy. So doing the 100-day project kind of, I thought, right, I'll just do it in sketchbooks. I'll make little journals, and I'll get myself a little box where I can put my journal. I can put my, just a few pens. And I thought, I can't get the paints out, but I could paint the papers in advance. And then I've got the papers there and I can just make stuff. I'll just do collages. And the idea was always to kind of do these collages that then later on will become sort of inspiration for bigger paintings and things. So
Yeah.
that was kind of the idea. So
Yeah.
I did that, yeah, in 2019. I think I called it Mixed Media Florals, 100 Days of Mixed Media Florals, something like that. And I did that, and it just got me into the habit of doing something every day. I mean, not every day, I didn't post it every day, but
Right,
just,
right.
yeah, it just kind of gave me permission to kind of give myself that 10-15 minutes time to just do it. Yeah, and I started filming them as well, just as kind of document, for
Right.
myself, and then, started putting them online, and yeah, just kept going with it that way, really.
Yeah, we have so many similarities in that all of what you just said completely resonated with me because I too, I like need a light structure. The 100-day
Mhm.
challenge is enough of a light structure that I'm like, oh, I want to do this because I want to complete it. And yet there's no real rules around it. And I can
Yeah.
sort of change my mind as I go. But if I, like having that light structure works for me. I also discovered when I was doing the 100-day challenges, I've done them several times, that I liked seeing my pieces out that hadn't been completed. So I did one on 3.5 by 3.5 inch cards, and I had them all hung on my wall. So I needed that visual tracking of like, oh,
Yeah.
it's been a couple days. I haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was really helpful for me. Oh, that's awesome. And then yeah, the fitting things into a tiny bit of time, like there's so much you can do in 15 minutes. And I think
Yeah.
that's yeah.
That's kind of, I think that's the way that I've had to work that way. So that's the way I work best at the moment. I think if I did have longer to work, Of my eldest son's at school and my youngest is going to be doing some daycare from September, so I will have a little bit more time from September. But I think I'll probably still set my timer for 15 minutes and
Yeah.
still sort of work in those small chunks, because it means that I don't overthink things. I find that if I do have a longer time, like if I do stuff in the evening or something, I end up making things that I don't really like because I'm faffing around, and just taking too long over things. Whereas if it's 15 minutes, it's done, I move on, look at it the next day, come back to it, and yeah, it works that way for me.
I'm such a believer in that. Now, have you always kept an art journal, or is that something that has come about over time? You said you used to work larger acrylics.
Yeah, so I've always kind of taken a sketchbook away on holiday with me. And yeah, the past few years, I've always kind of had sort of more of a journal, sort of a written journal, I'd say, and then collected things on travel, so leaflets, maps, napkins, all that sort of thing. And I used to keep them in a journal, and do sketches and things in them. But it was really with that 100-day project that I started sort of doing that more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's definitely something that I want to do more of. I think it just fits that the way of working in small um snippets of time, that I can just, I do have a few journals sort of on the go at any one time, and I do still work in a bigger sort of sketchbook as well, because I do quite like working on smaller just sheets of paper as well.
Mhm.
So then I stick all that in a sketchbook, yeah, as I'm going along, to try and kind of review it a little bit, rather than just having piles of stuff everywhere.
Brilliant.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
use the journals for different purposes, I suppose.
Yeah. So a question that I always ask our inspiring artists. So, I'm not sure, did I explain to you, I know I sent it in an email, what we're doing with this under the influence, but just
Yeah,
in a nutshell, it's that um, we're looking at the inspiration that you share, and you're so generous with your sharing online. And then we're just sort of sampling that and recognizing and looking as if you were one of the old masters that we're studying, like, oh, look how she uses color, look how she uses, composition, or look at the white space or the balance or the this or the that, right? We go in and we look, and then we take elements and we try them in our own art journals with the own supplies that we have at hand, and that sort of thing. So I love that it pushes our students to explore and try maybe something that they hadn't tried for themselves before. We just covered Lisa Goddard yesterday, and we did some paper weaving. So it was something that, like, maybe we had done way back, but we hadn't thought of doing in our art journal. Do you still find that so that was a long-winded way of asking you, do you still find that you
yeah.
find inspiration from other artists? And if
Yeah.
so, who are your contemporaries that you find inspiring?
I think, yeah, I mean, definitely, I've recently joined this sort of community on Instagram, only really a few years ago. And there's just so many inspiring artists sharing things on there. It is such a nice community that everybody's so open about sharing lots of things. And through the recent 100 Days of Collage Fodder, the one that we've just done this year, the one set up by Wendy Solganic, that has opened my eyes to so many more different artists. Roxanne Paget is one that
Yes.
I've recently found. She's just comes up with these ideas of, different ways of printing things
Isn't
and
she lovely?
stencils, and
Yeah.
just so many good ideas, and things that are so accessible to people as well, that you can just give it a go. If it doesn't work, use it for something else.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, I really like that sort of approach, that anybody can just have a go with what they've got to hand as well. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. So yeah,
I
lots of trying to think of any others now. Um,
That's okay. Wendy and Roxanne are good,
yeah.
inspiring artists. Absolutely. Roxanne and I go way, way back. She's taught for me in my studio before. She lives here locally.
Oh, but
And
yeah.
yeah, and I consider her one of the OG mixed media art
Mhm.
journaling artists that
Yeah.
I too learned so, so much from. And she just feels like just a wealth of knowledge. Like, it just doesn't
Yeah.
end. It just
Yeah.
doesn't end. Yeah,
No, so
that's
many. Yeah.
awesome. And then the last thing I would love to ask, before we also ask you to tell us how to find you online, I'll make sure that everybody has links and that sort of thing. But anything that you're offering, this is your, definitely let us know. Um, is what is your favorite art supply, art supplies? Something that you can't live without.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm sitting at my desk, which
I
I
know.
was just looking in the background thinking I probably should have tidied up before.
No,
Um,
it's
so basically,
delightful.
so I'm in the corner of our bedroom. I don't have a studio. It's literally this is it. Probably my go-to thing, which I can show you, is my. I don't know if you can hold that up. This is
Oh,
kind of this is what I work from. So it's my giant. It's kind of an old
makeup bag.
yeah, toiletries bag. That's
Yeah,
what it is, and it hooks up, and that has everything that I need for a 15-minute session. So I have at the top sort of crayons, wax crayons, chunkies, Posca pens, and then my sketchbook down at the bottom. So
that is
that.
absolute perfection right
Yeah,
there.
everything in it I couldn't live without, but the actual
Yeah.
holder itself is
Yeah.
yeah, it's so good. And we're going away in a couple of weeks, and I'll be taking that with me. So I just take that as it is um, on holiday. But yeah, that and probably the chunky Posca pens are my favourite as well.
Yeah.
The
I
really
love them
thick nib
too.
ones, yeah, they're my
Yeah.
favourite.
Oh, that's so fun. So Rebecca, what do you teach online? Do you have online courses? What can we help promote?
So I've got online courses in my mind, but not online online as yet. But I am taking part in Fodder School, which has
Okay.
launched today. In fact,
Yeah.
registration's open today. So that's the new a year-long mixed media course, which is just going to be brilliant because just to have that inspiration from 12 different mixed media artists. So you get 2 lessons each month from a different artist. So the first lesson will be showing different ways to make fodder, and then the second lesson will be how to use it. So you get 12
Perfect.
different projects, 12 different artists. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that course, doing my video for it, but also taking part in it over the year. It'll be great to have that motivation all through the year. So yeah, registration's open for that now. That
Excellent.
closes registration, I think, at the end of August,
Beautiful.
and then it starts in October. So yeah,
Wonderful. Well, we'll
that's
definitely
gonna be
link
great.
that up. Do you have a link, an affiliate link on your website?
There's a link in my bio, yeah.
In
So
your bio.
people can
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. We will make sure we spread the word on that. Thank you so
Brilliant.
much for
No,
chatting
thank you.
with me
Yeah,
today.
I'm
I
honoured
still,
to be
you,
with
the time that we're covering you is still a ways off, so I haven't even
Yeah,
selected yet the layout that we're going to look at. But I can't wait to dive in and have our participants appreciate and enjoy your artwork. And thank you so much for sharing all that you do. And I look forward to doing something with you in the future. I would love to connect and
yeah,
collaborate in some
definitely.
way, shape, or form.
Definitely. Yeah, well, thank you. I look forward to seeing what the students make as well. I always love it when people tag me in things that they've been inspired by my work. It's brilliant. I love it.
Absolutely. Well, we for
Yeah.
sure, that is one of my biggest things is always, 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 always share who you're inspired by. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, Rebecca. And thanks for coming
Okay,
on with
thank
me.
you for
All
listening.
right.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.